Hey guys, this is your girl Lira, and you're listening to Self-Reflection Podcast. Thank you guys for joining me on another episode of Self-Reflection Podcast. I pray and I hope that this podcast episode finds you in the best possible state that you could be for yourself in today. And if you're not doing your best, I hope that you create some time to do some self-reflection. Like always, I am going to continue to remind you that self-reflection is literally the pathway to you finding yourself. No matter if you have a counselor, therapist, life coach, pastor, and whomever you have in your life to support you. The one and true way of you understanding yourself, of you knowing yourself, of you getting to the core of who you are is through self-reflection. Because through self-reflection, you find the godlike self, you get to listen to your intuition, and you get to connect with the spiritual body. Today, we are going to be talking about everything under the sun. So come on down. Let's go, guys. Enjoy this podcast episode. It's a bit different. I got a different type of flow in this podcast episode. So please enjoy it. Leave me your comments, feedbacks, and also let me know if you want to hear more about my personal life, my personal journey, and anything else you would like to know. If you have any questions about mental health or who to go to find some type of support, reach out, y'all. And let's get into this podcast episode. The first question that we are going to dive into is, what is the difference between love and passion? Love and passion? I guess we can just keep it at that. Love and passion are two different things. Because love, you can fall in and out of love, right? With something. Even though love is, not to bring it to this realm, but love is the one and only true energy that truly exists. Because out of love, everything is birthed from there. But if we're just talking from the physical realm and the plain everything, passion and love, right? You can love something when you're doing it in the moment. But if your joy for that love, the thing that you're doing, right? If that joy kind of switch into happiness, it becomes temporary. And then that happiness will fade because happiness only lasts for a certain period of time. But if you're passionate about something, right? It doesn't matter if you love it in that moment or if you don't love it in that moment. It doesn't matter how challenging it is. It doesn't matter what obstacle comes in the way. If you're passionate about it, you will continue to do it, even though you go through ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? So those are the two difference. Yes, you may love to do something, but if you're not people that play basketball, right, in the rec center, they love to play basketball, but because they're not passionate about it, they're not spending 8 hours practicing. Waking up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. going to put in that extra work. But somebody that is passionate about it is going to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym so that they can become better. Yeah. So I guess it's you love it to a point where it's just not it's not something that you can't not live without it, but it's something that you would do without even getting paid for it. Yeah. What is it like when you get lost in the flow state? When you get lost in whatever you're doing, you hit this thing called the flow state, which now you're not downloading information from the unconscious world, which means that, you're creating the real authentic stuff, the stuff that means something. So when you talk about loss, apart from but I'm not talking about, see, that's the thing. A lot of people talk about loss in when they're when they talk about loss, they only think about it from the physical world, that you get lost in the cars, you get lost in the clothes, you get lost in like looking fancy, you get lost in wanting to like be a certain way or whatever, right? From that realm. But people don't look at it from like you can get lost in like the outside world, the world that doesn't exist, the non-physical world, where you hit that flow state where everything else is just different. You're in a whole different world. So this part of the question is asking me, have I been lost in the physical world? I've been lost in the physical world. Yes, I've gone. I would say, I lost myself. Trying to, I guess, please another person. In a sense, I lost myself trying to find myself. I have lost myself trying to fit in a certain space. Yeah, I think I've been lost several times. I've lost myself as a young woman, trying to figure out what it's like to be a young woman, what it's like to be me. I've lost myself, and I think honestly, you have to lose yourself to find yourself again, because like you have to unpeel the layers back, because as we grow up as young children, right? There's so much that is packed. Oh, I just answering your mic. As we grow up, there's so much that is packed onto us that it it takes, I don't know, it there's so much that takes away the true core of us, right? And we lose ourselves without even wanting to lose ourselves, or without knowing that we're losing ourselves unconsciously, right? There's all this like sub unconscious programming that we all go through. So I think to find ourselves again, or to return home to self, we have to lose ourselves. Or you can even say part of you have to die for you to be rebirthed. And when you talk about losing, getting lost in the non-physical world, yes, I get lost all the time, especially when I'm writing. Sometimes I'm just like, whoa, did I write that? Like, I don't even know how it came out. Or when I say something, I'm just like, oh, okay, I really did say that, huh? So yeah, you get lost in the non-physical world and in the physical world. Yes, that's the flow state where you go into, and everything is just being downloaded from whatever galaxy it's coming from, right? Yeah. So, and I think a lot of athletes get lost in that when they're playing, especially that's why sometimes they can't hear the noise from the stands when they're on that court or on that field. Like, nobody else matters but just the person that's next to you. And that's all you can see and hear. You can't hear even your parents screaming from the top of their voice. Like, you can't hear that. And a lot of artists as well, they get lost in that space as well. What was my basketball experience like? Oh, yeah. When I was playing high school basketball, let me see. High school was fun. Middle school is when I was still like trying to figure out who I was. But high school was like the fun part, because we had built like a really good sisterhood at that time, and everything we also, this is when we also started driving at one point. So by junior senior year we had cars, so we could drive ourselves to the game and stuff like that. So that was fun. And then college was fun. The first 2 years was definitely fun, even though it was really challenging, because our coach really pushed us. She was great, but it was fun because we just, I don't know, we played with so much love. When I look at basketball today, it's different, right? I don't see the girls play with like, this is just something I love to do. Like the young girls. I don't see them wanting to like grind hard. Like I remember when I was in high school, I would catch the bus, catch a light rail, and then catch another bus at 5 a.m. in the morning, just so I can go to a 6 a.m. workout. Like, that was love. Like, I just wanted to be in the gym. Like, I thought I was gonna play pro. Like, I loved basketball. It was a space where you just go to and you escape away from this world. Like, nothing else exists. Like, family drama, friend drama. I didn't really have a boyfriend, but if I had one, boyfriend drama. Like, it was a space where you just go and you just feel at peace. And yeah. This episode is brought to you by Prolong. If you want the healthy benefits of fasting, such as healthy aging, weight loss, energy, and mental clarity, while still being able to eat, Prolong fasting mimicking nutrition programs are for you. Prolong is the first and only clinical tested doctor recommended fasting nutrition program based on over 20 years of research and development by the Longevity Institution at the University of Southern California in collaboration with 17 other prestigious universities. It's primarily plant-based. Non-GMO food is shown to rejuvenate your body cells the same way fasting would. And if done 3 times a year, you can reverse your biological age by 2.5 years. Check out Prolong 5 Days Nutritional Program and subscribe to the program every 4 months for the best results by going to prolonglife.com. That is PROLONLIFE.com. And for you, my dear self-reflection family, you get 20% off with code SELF10 at checkout. How I get lost in the float state when I play basketball or when I am doing something creative. Oh, that's where we're going. Um, like I mentioned, you get lost in like being in flow state because all that matters is your teammates in that moment. All that matters is you guys wanting to win. Like, and not in like you guys want to be vicious or anything like that to the other team. But no, like we're living here winning. We're going to kick your ass and we're going to beat you. And that's all that really matters. And being in that flow state, it was one of those things that allowed me to learn how to bounce back. Like, because when you're in the flow state, right, if you come out of it a little bit and you fall right back into it, you don't think about what just happened. It's gone, and I think basketball really taught me that, like, you got to just keep going no matter what happened, because some days are going to be great. Some days you're going to go straight to the target or whatever it is, right? Some days you're going to sweep teams out of the gym, and some days you're going to have to grind and beg and scratch and pull just to get a W. And yeah, it's beautiful. I love talking about basketball. I actually want to go back and coach basketball someday. Yeah, when I'm able to work for myself and make money where I don't have to worry about, going to work to pay my bills. I think it'll be nice. I love basketball, so I enjoy coaching as well. Yeah. I coached for a while too, like for 6 years. So, yeah. In this moment, I'm going to talk about some of the highlights that I experienced through my basketball career. 3 highlights. One, I found, my sisters from another mother's. Um, that's one of my best gift that I think basketball brought for me because, I think they allow me to feel like a part of an American system as well, because that's one of the reasons why I got into basketball. I didn't really know many people when I moved to my middle school. So basketball really allowed me to have some sisters that literally we're still friends to today. And it's been one of the most beautiful journey that I've been on with them, because there's been time when it's like, can you do my homework for me? Like, can you please help me? And then there's been those moments where you just like cry and you just talk about everything under the moon, boys, girls, gossip, um, just hold each other's hands, right? That's a pretty big highlight for me, where just had people that up to today we still like go to each other's like children's like oh babies like events and stuff like that. So that's been great. Love that. Yeah. Yeah. Another highlight, when I wanted to when I graduated from Foothill, because I wanted to play basketball really bad. um I know I never really talked about this, but my Foothill coach, she I didn't really have the money to go to a different place or go to school somewhere else. And I went to visit schools in LA's, but none of them really like caught my attention, because that was really never my goal. Because in high school, I really wanted to go to a Division 1 or Division 2 school. So when I transferred from Foothill, like all the schools that I looked at, it really didn't resonate with me. So she and I came together and she raised roughly $10,000. I know. Like, she's like, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give you, try to create a GoFundMe for you and see if I can help you raise some money. And she raised that much amount of money. And I'm so grateful for that, because that led me to go to Canada. I know. I'm almost tearing up right now, because going to Canada was literally one of the best decisions that I ever made, um, for myself. Because, wow, I've never really expressed this in this way. Um, I got to meet some amazing people there as well. There was four of us. There's Martina, Peyton, Ben, and myself that we all hang out, and we were from US, so we kind of called ourselves the US, the US clique and stuff like that, the gang, the US gang, and um, that experience really opened my eye to a different world. That's when I went and I saw that like things don't have to be aggressive. You know, um, you can try to talk things out if there's a problem. You can have, like, you can be literally friends with people that you have no idea where they come from, and people can be kind to you. That's when I saw like just genuine empathy for one another. It was a beautiful moment, because I don't know what's in the Canadian water, but everyone's kind of nice over there. Whatever they got in those water, people are extremely nice over there. So it was nice. It was nice to be over there. Yeah, and I guess it's a lot more heavier now that one of our friends out of the four, one of them passed away earlier this month. So yeah, it was sad, yeah. It was heavy when Martina told me, you know, um yeah, because of the way he also passed. Um him and I had some really intense conversations as well when we were over there. And when Martina told me how he passed, struggling with his mental health as well. And all of the conversations just came like flooding back, like it was just an hour ago. And yeah. And this guy was let me tell you, the nicest human you can ever find on this planet. Like, he, if you try to argue with him, nothing. Like, he would make peace in the middle of a war. That's how gentle this guy was, and how it has been for me. You know, I think after moving back from Canada, we didn't really keep in contact as close as we were. We talked maybe here and there, follow each other's social media, some social media, not all, here and there. But I don't know, I'm still processing it. Yeah. And the weirdest thing was 2 days before he passed, I knew someone was going to pass away. I just had a weird feeling. And then Martina hit me up, was like, hey, Ben just died. I'm like, whoa. I it was really, really like I wasn't shocked, but I was still shocked, you know? It was like he gave me a message, but this episode is brought to you by Prolong. If you want the healthy benefits of fasting, such as healthy aging, weight loss, energy, and mental clarity, while still being able to eat, Prolong fasting mimicking nutrition programs are for you. Prolong is the first and only clinical tested doctor recommended fasting nutrition program based on over 20 years of research and development by the Longevity Institution at the University of Southern California in collaboration with 17 other prestigious universities. It's primarily plant-based. Non-GMO food is shown to rejuvenate your body cells the same way fasting would. And if done 3 times a year, you can reverse your biological age by 2.5 years. Check out Prolong 5 Days Nutritional Program and subscribe to the program every 4 months for the best results by going to prolonglife.com. That is PROLONLIFE.com. And for you, my dear self-reflection family, you get 20% off with code SELF10 at checkout. Life is short. Life is long, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, life is very short. And I think a lot of us get caught in like this world. You know, a lot of us get caught in, do I have enough money? It's important, don't get me wrong. Am I wearing the right clothes? Am I wearing the nice stuff? Do I have the bag, the clothes, the Louis Vuitton? Do I have the friends that, you know? And we talk about loss, right? We get lost in the material world. But I think a lot of us need to come back home. When I say home, I think a lot of us need to just see that gratitude is an important thing. Love is an important thing. Respect is important. You know, humanity, right? When you look out into the world today, like, there's so much chaos. You know, at one point, I'm not going to lie to you, I had no like personal, like my own personal struggles. I didn't have that. Like, I didn't have it in the sense like my bills were okay. Everything was going fine. Family, friends, everything. But I was sad. I think I was even depressed because I was so sad when I look out into the world. There was so much like people getting murdered, killing, wars, death. You see mothers crying, looking for their children, opening body bags. You know, that took a toll on me for a long time. And I didn't know how to handle that for a really long time because I felt like, what can I do? You know, it's like, how could we justify the reason why we go to war? To go murder millions of people to say for what? For because we are fighting for peace or fighting for what? Equality? So the people that we murder, they're not equal to us. You know, it's like, how do we justify that? And why do we continue to justify it? Why do we continue to allow it? Because many of us have moved away from the heart. Many of us don't live through the heart space anymore. Thank you guys for joining me on another episode of Self Reflection Podcast. I am happy that you guys are here. Thank you guys for listening to Self Reflection Podcast. If you have yet to hit that subscription button, please go ahead and do so. Um, Also, leave us a comment, like, and don't forget to share it with your friends, family members, and on your social media as well. I truly appreciate it. Also, I just want to say that I have now started to offer my coaching services, self-love and inner healing. Services are now available. If you want to work with me or you want to check out the services, what I'm offering, send me a DM on my Instagram or on my TikTok. I'll get back to you as soon as I see your message. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care of yourself, love yourself, be kind, and be gentle with yourself. Until next time. Bye for now. Ta-da!